Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I won't be able to see you on Monday as we now have a snow day. I know that's probably very exciting, and we will be able to see each other on February 8th as planned. However, now that we will not be meeting in person, I thought it would be useful for you to have a quick overview of the class using this great video tool called Screencast-O-Matic, and for you to be able to communicate with me throughout the next couple weeks until we do finally meet in person. So I'm going to introduce you to the class very quickly, and if you do have questions, feel free to reach out to me. We are a primarily online class, which means most of your work will be completed via Blackboard. However, when we do meet in person, we'll get to do some activities together, and most importantly, a group project you'll be working on later on in the semester. Your midterm exam and your final exam will also be held in person. So to get a good idea of the class, you'll see the home page on the screen here. I'll actually send you an announcement every week at the start of our class, just kind of telling you what's going on and reminding you of some of the things going on with our schedule. And so here you'll see that this notes in the welcome announcement that the class is primarily online and where to get started. The most important takeaway from this class is to understand that each week you should be looking at our course schedule. So I'm going to jump to where our syllabus is located, and you'll see the entire syllabus here. For now, I'm going to click on the schedule and provide you a quick overview of what's expected. Each week you'll see when we have an in-person class, which we now no longer have on January 25th, you'll see a general overview of what we'll be covering and what you should be reading and completing prior to the start of class. All assignments and quizzes you see listed here must be submitted via Blackboard before class starts. Now, when you look at the schedule, you'll see for our first class where we're not meeting, we are going to have this course orientation, which I'm doing now using Screencast-O-Matic in this video, to go over the syllabus, look at this schedule, and also to go over that first student profile assignment, which we will talk about later on. Before February 1st, your first real assignments are due in this class, so you'll want to complete the Start Here module. I'll show you where to find that in a moment. You'll also want to obtain our textbook. You'll be completing a discussion, your student profile assignment, and the syllabus quiz just to make sure you have a clear understanding of the class. Then we will meet in person on February 8th. Before we meet, you should be working on reading chapters 1 and 2 and reviewing the next assignment for the class, which isn't due for some time, but does involve interviewing a business owner, so it's good to get familiar with its requirements quickly. That means quiz 1 and quiz 2 in Blackboard must be completed before the time we do meet in person on February 8th, which means by 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, please understand that for all quizzes, you actually have 3 attempts. They're meant to be a learning tool, and the system will record your highest grade. It's a way to help make sure that you're understanding a foundation of the material in the text. I will also show you some other great supplemental resources to help. So you have an idea of our schedule here. I encourage you to go ahead and just print this schedule out. Then you can click and show things are done when they are, which is just wonderful. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go back into Blackboard. You'll see I have a lot of classes listed. And so I'm going to show you exactly what you should do when you click inside Blackboard each week. Jumping into our course, I'm clicking on the class name and I'm going to jump straight to the learning modules. You'll see all of our learning modules we're covering each week here. And on the schedule, you'll notice that the modules you should be looking at are listed. The Start Here module is where you want to begin now. This module should be completed by February 1st based on the schedule you just saw. You'll see the module gives a really good overview of what to expect and especially what to expect in the course itself. As you click through, you'll also see an overview of our sitemap here. These are quick links that help provide you lots of great resources, and you'll see here it lists out what each of those sources provide. For instance, we don't require MindTap in this class. We do have a text, but MindTap's not required. So these supplemental resources that are located here actually give you a lot of those Wiley Plus is the name, Wiley Plus tools for free. That includes flashcards, crossword puzzles, and practice quizzes. And so if you want to practice taking quizzes before you complete them on Blackboard, you can actually use that instead. So you want to read through that. And then at the start of each module, you'll see an assignments page to let you know really quickly what you should be doing. You'll want to create your Blackboard profile, making sure your picture's visible on the screen for the discussions. You'll also want to take a look at our assignments, the rubrics, that student profile I mentioned when we went over the schedule. And then you want to look at the discussion requirements. So the discussions do require some engagement and interactive activity with the other students. And discussions will be due on the weeks we do not meet. So they'll be due the Monday we don't meet by 6:30 p.m. So a good way to think of it, when we do see each other after you leave the classroom, you want to start looking at that discussion and engaging in it so that when you have that next Monday where you're not in the classroom, you should think to yourself, I still have something due by that same time I normally would have been in class. You'll also see the course syllabus here, the syllabus quiz, and then a really helpful student orientation. This is something I actually created for business students that'll help orient you with all sorts of great stuff at the school. It's a Prezi overview, so you can click through the stuff you don't care about and jump back to it when it is important. For now, it gives you material about scholarships, transfer opportunities, how to plan a degree out here, and even though our class is primarily online, you can always come meet with me in person. My office is located in the Humanities building, Humanities Office 247, and you'll notice my office hours on our course syllabus, which I'm jumping to now. So even though we're online, you can always shoot me an email or you can come by here. You'll see Mondays and Wednesdays I have time, as well as Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'll generally be available before our class. If you just let me know ahead of time, we can schedule an appointment. We can also do video conferencing, kind of like what I'm doing now, if you have any questions or concerns. So you can learn a little bit about me here. My fun fact is I'm a twin. My twin sister lives nearby, actually, and so I teach full-time at Montgomery College, primarily Intro to Business, this class, and Business Law. I'm a graduate of the George Washington University Law School, and I also have a master's in business administration from UMass Amherst. Massachusetts is my home, it's where I'm from. I serve on the board for a local nonprofit. It's called Workplace Fairness. It's a workplace rights organization as well. And I also teach part-time for both the University of Massachusetts and the University of Maryland, the Robert H. Smith School, that some of you may hope to transfer to one day. Now down below here, you'll see more information about the class and about its hybrid format. If you have questions about that format or you're uncomfortable about online learning, you need to speak with me right away so we can get you in the right class. This class meets less in person because we meet primarily online. And so if you're not comfortable with an online class, this might not be the right learning setting for you. Now you'll see here my email address. I'm very responsive to email. It goes straight to my phone. So you can communicate with me often. I also expect that you'll check the Blackboard site and your Montgomery College email at least 3 times a week. So you can't just disappear. If I need to reach you, you need to be able to be communicated with. You'll notice our text here. You want to get that right away. I am happy to take the 14th or 15th edition, but you will need it in order to complete the assignments in this class and cite the material well. You'll also see here the required materials for the class do not require Wiley Plus. You'll see links to get this. You can rent this book online, however it's easiest for you. You'll see an overview of your grade and how much each assignment is worth here. We have a total of 1,000 points in the class. The projects are a big part of that grade, so you really want to make sure that you read the assignments, see the samples, review the rubrics available, and make sure you submit timely so you don't lose points. You can lose up to 20 points if you're late, and half quizzes and discussions if you don't submit sooner. You'll notice the midterm and final exam will be taken in person for this class, and you'll see a brief overview of each assignment in the class in the syllabus. You'll also notice there's a couple extra credit opportunities, including leadership on your team projects for the class. Now, an important note for each of you is that you cannot miss our in-person classes. Because we have so few, there's actually some points allotted for just coming to class, 5 points each. And if you miss a class, you may be dropped from it because you're missing so much of our in-person time. We only meet just 8 times in this class. So please make sure you contact me if there's going to be issues, either with late arrival or if you'll be missing class entirely, so that you don't violate any of our school's attendance policies. You'll notice down below, finally, some information about the hybrid class, and finally our class schedule one more time here. Now I'm going to jump back into our course site, and you'll see our learning modules throughout. So jumping into the class here, clicking on learning modules will get you exactly where you need to be to complete those schedule requirements. However, you can also jump straight to quizzes here, just another way to get to them quickly. Assignments here, and you'll notice under the student profile assignment exactly what they'll look like. You'll have an idea of the due date, the rubric, and you'll want to submit all assignments in this class by attaching a Word file to your computer here and just hitting submit down below. You'll notice a template for this first assignment that's due February 1st. You can actually download that template and just write right into it. Okay, my computer's going to take some time to do this, I think, to pull it up. But you can actually go ahead and create that profile right away. It lets me know more about you because we have such a little time in person together, and I do like to know my students. Come on, computer, here we go. So you'll notice the student profile on the screen. You'll want to put your name in, favorite quote, and just some information about yourself so I can get to know you, as I mentioned. Now going back into the class one more time. Sorry, my computer is a little fussier today than usual. It must not like the snow. You'll see the supplemental resources also available on our site. So for each chapter, you'll notice all sorts of great study guide tools, PowerPoints, practice quizzes, flashcards, and even audio versions of the chapters to help you. And so please use any of those. They're free. I got them available to you so that you can supplement your learning in any way that you feel is helpful to you. So please use those. Now going back to these assignments, I just want to point out under the student profile, because I didn't get to earlier, you'll notice a rubric for each assignment. It's a good idea to look at those. And normally below here, you'll see a sample of the assignment. Now you absolutely need to submit your student profile here, but you'll also notice in that first discussion that'll be due February 1st, you also want to submit your profile to the class. So you'll see here a couple of your classmates have already done so. You just want to hit reply and post it to the class. Then you'll want to review and respond to at least 2 of your classmates. Each week in those discussions, you're required to post using concepts from our textbook. That's really important in your post. Then you need to respond to 2 of your classmates' posts when we do have discussions on the weeks we don't meet. And you can't do all those 3 posts within the same 24-hour period. The point of these discussion boards are to kind of replace our in-person learning. So the activities, the discussions going on in that forum are really important to make sure you engage throughout the week to have a continuous conversation. So again, you'll post an original post responding to my question, and you'll respond to at least 2 of your classmates. So this first discussion will be a great way to get to know each other. You have course mail to interact with any students in the class, and you can track your grades at any point in the class by clicking on My Grades. I obviously can't see my own, but you can track how many points you have total versus that 1,000 points available in the class. We also have free online tutoring here, so there's a great link and other resources for you to check out if you're interested. So again, if you have any questions, concerns, or anything like that with the class, please feel free to shoot me an email. You'll want to start that Start Here module right away to make sure that you're up to speed by February 1st. And then before we meet on February 8th, you'll want to complete learning modules 1 and 2. And again, you'll notice the overview here. And for each overview, you'll see a Prezi supplement to what you see in the textbook. These Prezis were created by me. They have lots of pictures and videos and highlights from the material in the text to really help make sure you understand the learning experience and understand that content in the chapter. So you can jump through that Prezi and you'll see the video clips. I encourage you to really, really review each of these presentations